It's just 84 days to the general election, and the political landscape is quickly taking shape as presidential as well as gubernatorial aspirants beat tight deadlines to name their running mates. Political drumbeats are resounding across the country as over 19 million voters prepare to elect their leaders on August 9th, 2022. This even as the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition and the Kenya Kwanza Alliance have announced their running mates, starring political debates across the country. We'll be discussing this shortly with a political and governance analyst, Alex Mwadhi, live in the studio tonight. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch. I'm Tony Omondi and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. Let's begin with our top story. Now, the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance coalition has beaten the May 16th IEBC running mate deadline ahead of the August 9th general election. This is after the coalition's presidential candidate, Raila Odinga, nominated Narc Kenya party leader and former Justice Minister Martha Karua to be his running mate after weeks of lobbying. Karua was among three final shortlists of the position that included Karua, Kalonzo Musyoka and Peter Kenneth, following interviews by the Azimio Oka running mate interview panel. At the unveiling ceremony at KICC grounds in Nairobi, Odinga also named his potential cabinet members if elected. Dickens Livanda begins our broadcast with this report.
It is all system go for the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance coalition race to State House after presidential candidate Raila Odinga picked Martha Karua as his running mate in the August 9th general elections.
I have the great honor to announce that I have picked as my running mate and Cabinet Secretary for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, the Honorable Martha Karua. God bless you.
Out of a list of three, Kalonzo Musyoka, Martha Karua and Peter Kenneth, Karua floored her opponents to win the running mate ticket, following weeks of search on who will deputize Odinga in case Azimio forms Kenya's fifth government.
Tumewasikia. We hear you.
Karua was unveiled at the Kenyatta International Convention Center KICC grounds in Nairobi, with Odinga praising her zeal and human rights record.
At the age of 24, this woman was appointed a magistrate to adjudicate on matters of men. A few years later, she became the youngest woman to be elected a member of parliament in central Kenya. This woman is a fighter and is not a quitter. This woman has a safe pair of hands, seasoned by the struggle for our second liberation.
Hapa nataka nikukumbushe sisi tukua kutoka mkoa wa Kaskazini Mashariki, kuna jambo moja umeweka katika 10 point policies zako ya elimu, affirmative action kwa elimu ya watoto ya wafugaji.
Sasa ikiwa baba alimfuta kazi, halafu wewe tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 umerudisha kazini, unadharau baba.
In her acceptance speech, the former Gishugu lawmaker and Justice Minister, who unsuccessfully vied for the Kirinyaga governor in 2017 elections, said she was happy to deputize Odinga, congratulating her other running mates hopefuls.
We have a lot of work to do. We know the country. We know what our country needs. I stand before you today to say that I, Martha Karua, do hereby proudly accept this nomination as Deputy Presidential Candidate.
Nataka campaign ya kingwana. Hatutaki fujo.
Before unveiling Karua, Odinga unveiled his potential cabinet lineup, awarding Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka the chief cabinet secretary position, but Musyoka, in a parallel media announcement, announced his name, said his name was before the IEBC as a presidential candidate. To beat the IEBC deadline, Musyoka unveiled Andrew Sunkuli as his running mate.
The final decision has actually been taken by the candidate himself, the Honorable Raila Odinga, his own decision, which I respect. And I wish him and his running mate, our sister Martha Karua, well. But I also made it very clear that if I know my country, if I know our country well, that decision will meet with overwhelming opposition. And therefore, We have agreed to go our separate ways.
In Odinga's Azimio government, Mombasa Governor Hassan Joho will take up the Lands Ministry as the Cabinet Secretary, Peter Munya the Agriculture docket, Wycliffe Oparanya the Treasury Ministry docket, while former Emuhaya Member of Parliament and National Assembly Speaker Kenneth Marende will be the Senate Speaker. The running mates are to be presented to the IEBC before end of Monday, May 16, 2022. Deacon Sluvanda, Hope TV News Watch.